Guys, this is going to be a very short video. You guys know when I do my video uploads, as news is coming in about David and Celeste and all this information, I really try to make them short. My lives are a little bit longer. Make sure you watch our video from today earlier to catch up more on a live interaction. But let's get into this video. Now, it looks like TMZ might be changing the narrative about this footage right here that was put out about this young person who definitely looks like Celeste, I would say, from afar. Essentially, a lot of the Redditors and, social media personalities, hell, myself included. I mean, I definitely feel like this girl does look like Celeste, and she resembles, even from afar, a very striking resemblance to Celeste, right? But people are walking it back, and apparently it looks like it might not be. If this was Celeste, this would give an actual time frame to the time that Celeste was murdered, right? Or when she was alive, literally. So TMZ had said that, it's not been confirmed that it's her, but if you look off to the balcony, this is a young girl who definitely looks like Celeste, because of the hair. I mean, at least from afar, and she's standing in this balcony with this other individual whose age we don't know. Now they're saying that again, this was either the 23rd or the 24th of August, and apparently this is when David had two concerts, which of both of these concerts were apparently sold out. And this is about a week and a half before her body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla. Okay. I think if this is her, this would be a big deal of a clip, right? Because it would at least give people a timeline of maybe when was the last time somebody saw her alive, if this is her. But again, we don't know because it has not been confirmed, right? Like, how I don't know how they're going to go about confirming that. And she's wearing a black tube top, or at least a black top from what it appears on this video. She was identified. She was wearing a black tube top with leggings. And so, again, there is just so much that we just do not know at this point when it comes to this. But I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments. So earlier today, we talked a little bit about Josh Marshall, who is an executive music manager, producer for Interscope. Okay. Now, apparently, he has been doing that kind of line of work for a couple of years. Roughly, it's been said that Josh Marshall was managing David for about roughly 4 years. Okay. He rented this house. Now, what is unclear to me is that did he rent this house just for David or maybe other artists that, he was entertaining? Because it's a pretty big home for just one person. Based on what's been released from The Sun and the interviews with the landlord, it sounds like both Josh, Marshall, and David had items at that property that needed to be collected and moved away and all that. So it sounds to me that it's very likely both Josh and David were residing in this property at some point, which of course leaves room for speculation about his encounters with Celeste or any underage child that might have gone to this home. It leaves room for speculation as it pertains to that. SF Investigates, shout out to him, spoke to somebody close to the situation. And I trust SF Investigates because he puts a lot of factual information out there. SF said on his Twitter, and we read it earlier today, that he spoke to someone who notified, someone very close, who notified Josh Marshall's camp back in 2024 that Celeste was considered a missing person. So these rumors about her being a missing person was a real thing. But yet we have all of this footage that might be Celeste, might not be Celeste. It's just so much more to speculate from the situation. And I find it just so cowardly, very much a coward of Josh hide his executive producer face from various things, right? There's no statement. Has he hired an attorney? Nothing. His social media is closed down while everybody knows who he looks like. Sounds like he's always scoping young and up and coming artists to, get into the music scene and whatnot. So I don't know. I have a lot of questions about Mr. Marshall. Now, I still don't know if, say, the murmur happened at this property or somewhere else. And I'm so glad that other people are kind of giving a different take on this. dismemberment or not dismemberment, right? Because we don't want to fall on misinformation, but the more and more things become clear, I think we have a lot of questions about what actually happened. And, we're going to be hopeful for a statement or something from LAPD or the district attorney's office or somewhere. Guys, I mean, this is just a developing situation. Now, speaking of SF Investigates, shout out to SF Investigates, who also posted something on social media that I found to be very interesting and very informative. There have been rumors about this an infant. Now, let me just say this. Why I don't necessarily close the door to that is very simple. We just don't have enough information, right? There was reports that an infant had been, potentially buried outside of the home, or remains were found in the Tesla or something like that, right? That's what's being put out there. We just don't know the situation. There's a lot of speculation between the Discord, what was said, those messages, was somebody pregnant or not? It's a lot to decipher from all of this. To potentially, was she pregnant? Could she have been pregnant? We don't know. We just don't know. SF Investigates posted on Twitter regarding some rumors going around about remains of an infant being found in Hollywood in ties to hashtag Celeste Rivas Hernandez and or David. There's a list of all infant deaths in LA County going back to June. No infant remains were found. We're reading the age as in month, D for days, H for hours, MI for minutes. All infant deaths would have gone through the medical examiner's office, right? So if she was pregnant, if that was the case, if that is a rumor, right, or she gave birth, all of this would have basically been processed the same way. And based on what SF Investigates has posted on Twitter, it doesn't look like that is the case. But shout out to him, and I'll link his account in the description box so you guys can check him out. I want to talk about another little point. Now, this is pertaining to GUS. What somebody did send me in a DM was just some information, a specific screenshot of, is this GUS? And this was obviously the Reddit. Yes, Celeste Brothers said in a DM that he got shot in an unrelated case. Wait, if this is GUS and it happened in 2020, wouldn't she be 9 or 10 at the time? Oh my gosh, yes, it would. So apparently, this GUS was an individual who might have, hurt Celeste as well. And there's messages out there about this before David. So before David, was GUS an individual that hurt Celeste? I mean, and GUS is no longer here. I don't know if this is the exact person, but apparently this is the person that people have made reference to as far as Celeste. You guys, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Do y'all believe that we're going to hear some information at least this week? Next week? Where do you guys feel like law enforcement is in the investigation? I'll see you guys on the next one. Rabbits out. Bye, guys.